Welcome back to the Glacier Guys podcast. I'm Ethan Halesha.
And I'm Joey Fernandez.
And today we have another special guest, third straight week, Maggie Manthey.
Hi.
She's a sophomore guard from Sandburg High School, and this is her second year playing at Moraine. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So just to get started, what are some of the biggest differences, would you say, between high school and college basketball?
The main difference would be a shot clock. There is a 30-second shot clock. I wouldn't say it's more of like the time, though. It's just of there being a time limit, so it definitely speeds up the game. But I feel like the game requires a higher IQ, too.
Mm-hmm.
So in high school, is there a shot clock at all, or is it just...
I mean, for like the quarter, but not like for the shot clock. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Wait, what do you mean for like the quarter?
Like just the
a
time.
period, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is that something that like you really need to keep in your head now when you're playing like the shot clock?
I mean, you definitely have to like look at it because it catches up to you, especially like if the ball goes out of bounds and you reset, the clock doesn't always reset.
Right.
Mm.
So you always have to look at it.
Do you feel like any more like sense of urgency, like when you're running the offense or anything
Definitely,
like that?
definitely, yeah. Just like getting the ball out of everyone's hand, making sure it moves because there is the 30 seconds you have to give up the ball.
Okay.
And with the 30 seconds, like in practice, is that something that you guys work on specifically because of the shot clock or not really?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. All right, just wondering.
Was the beginning of the off season different from last year's off season?
Completely different. We did not have one last year.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So, what was tryouts like the first time anybody did anything basketball-wise last year? Or?
Yeah, we had one practice before our season started last year because it was all like last minute. I don't even think we had a tryout, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so did they just recruit and then you guys like...
Yeah, like
okay.
we had like a few little like conditioning things. So the same people that would show up to there showed up to practice. As far as I know, I don't think there was a tryout though.
Interesting. Was there a good amount of people on the team, or were you guys kind of limited as far as that goes?
Last year I believe there was 9 or 10. There was not that many. Like this year I think we have like 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you guys had a lot more off-season stuff going on.
Mhm.
Exactly, yeah.
For this season, did the mandatory vaccine mandate for like all the Moraine athletes cause any issues for the team this year, would you say, or no?
Yes, I think the team was definitely like divided in half whether they got it or wanted it, but there were definitely people that straight up said no. So it took a lot of convincing. We had a lot of research. Our coach helped with that a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think there was any issues between like how people felt about each other as a result of it, or?
I'm not really sure about that because like obviously he was like, oh, if you're vaccinated, like you don't have to tell us. So I think it was more of like, if you are, don't say anything so that nobody really knows until we all are as a team.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
That's a good way to handle it.
So the whole team now is vaccinated?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you could not try out if you were not vaccinated or had a physical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
How would you say last season went, just in general?
Not so hot. Like I said, we only had one practice before our first game, so it was definitely all like last minute stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't really like mesh together after one practice.
Yeah,
so
of course.
So I'd say like we practiced in the games basically.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we hoped we would do better.
One practice before the season. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's just crazy to me.
I mean, you probably didn't even know that many players on the team that well.
Exactly.
Like
I honestly didn't really know most of their names. It was crazy.
Man.
It was crazy.
Did you know like any of the players before the team like actually became a thing, or not really?
I knew one player. I knew Kirsten Kamholtz because I knew players she played with 2 years ago.
Okay.
And we met at the park during COVID and played, so I actually knew her.
Okay,
but
that's
then
good.
I knew of Kachi Savick because she went to Lincoln Way East, and I remember guarding her, and I knew she was going to Moraine.
Okay.
But that was it. And I have a twin, so I knew her. But yeah, that was it.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of like the team's goals for this upcoming season?
Obviously to get a winning record,
Mm-hmm.
to win conference, and then if you win conference, you go to nationals. So the end goal would be to win nationals.
And you guys are able to do that this year with COVID regulations and everything?
Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
So, okay. Do you have any individual goals for the season?
Right now, my main focus is getting healthy. I'm battling a couple injuries right now, but working through it. But then I'd like to develop my offensive game, develop my role as a leader, and keep my positive attitude.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Interesting.
So with off-season workouts and everything, how would you say the team chemistry is so far?
I'd say we definitely, like, it's okay. We have improving to do. Obviously, there's always
Mhm.
room for improvement. But we're trying. We're getting team bonding activities together, stuff like that. Yeah.
How many, or is there a lot of returning players? Or?
I think there's like 5 or 6.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
there's a few,
Okay.
but not a lot. And some of the returning players, like, were on the team, but, like, didn't show up all the time, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of, like, COVID and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So would you say it's a lot more organized than last year?
Yeah,
and
definitely.
structured?
That's good.
Definitely, yeah.
Have you guys been doing a lot of off-season stuff yet, or?
We do, like, conditioning. We work out, so that's 4 times a week. So we have conditioning 2 days and working out 2 days.
And how long has that been going on?
It started in September, I believe, but we had, like, open gyms and stuff all summer.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Did you know, like, more players coming into this season that were, like, new players this year for the team, or no?
I knew of them from high school, and
Mhm.
obviously when they showed up at the open gym, I was like, oh, like, hey, I remember you. But
Right.
besides them showing up, I didn't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Describe the relationship that you and your teammates have with the coaching staff.
So we do have 2 new coaches on staff. The head
Okay.
coach is the only returning coach, which is really nice. But, I mean, as far as my teammates, I know we all get along with the coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 new ones, obviously, we're all still getting to know them and stuff, but they're really cool. I like them so far. But personally, I'm really close with Coach Jones. I think he
Mhm.
knows more about my life than most of my friends, so that's kind of nice.
I've had him for a class, and then he was on the podcast too, and I've interviewed him multiple times. He's like a people's person,
Right,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah,
he always
he's-
gives the best advice. He's so nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the best
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree.
What are some of the points that, like, the coaching staffs, like, what do they emphasize at practice, would you say?
I'd say mostly, like, communicating so we could get, like, closer as a team, obviously, making sure we show up on time, stuff like that, just getting, like, all the little things down before the season actually starts.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that the fundamentals of the team in general are better because of this? Like,
Yeah, definitely. I say, like, the structure's better. I think that helps a lot.
Mm-hmm. Like, with COVID still being around and everything, has that made practice more difficult, or has it kind of been easier to adjust this year?
So since we did have masks on last year, it hasn't been too bad, but because there's only, like, 6 returning players, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
like, a lot of people are getting used to it. But, like, I understand the whole mask thing, but wearing it is just annoying.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, and totally, like, hard to hear. My coach, we, like, he, like, backs away and takes his mask off so we can hear him instead of, like, repeating himself constantly.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, with having it on, I'm sure it gets hard to breathe
Right,
after a certain
exactly.
point.
Yeah, like, your voice is muffled. It's just
Mhm.
annoying.
So when you guys are practicing, like, in the gym, anything, you guys have to wear your mask?
Everywhere.
Okay. And
Even,
then-
like, on the bus last year, we had to have our masks on, too.
Really?
Yeah, when
What
we went to
about
games.
what about during the games, like when you're playing this year?
So if you're one of the 5 on the court, you do not have to put your mask on, but the second you walk off the court, you have to put your mask on.
Okay. Is that how it was last year too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, some people would put their mask by their water bottles, but
Mhm.
even then, like, everyone was like, put your mask on, you know? So we had, like, a box of extra ones just in case.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people lost them, too. I'm not really sure how. It happens,
They just
I
disappear
guess.
during the game.
Yeah.
So last year were you guys in pods, or was that not needed?
At the beginning, we were in pods of 5.
Okay.
And honestly, I did not know anybody's name except for the people in my pod of 5.
Really?
Yeah, it was horrible. And honestly, only 4 of us showed up all the time.
Uh-huh.
So I literally knew 4 people out of everyone.
Wow.
But then, yeah, because we couldn't even go close to each other. We couldn't share basketballs. We all had to be on our own half of the court. So, yeah, I didn't really know
Was
anybody.
it like individual drills most of the time in practice then?
Yeah,
basically?
even like we couldn't even share a ball. It was just crazy. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it's-
crazy.
that's
Definitely
tough
a
get
time to
anything done.
remember, though. It
Yeah,
was kinda-
seriously. It's like that. Like, we may never have this again. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, it sucks, especially because we're in college right now. But I mean,
Right.
it is
Yeah.
what it is.
Gotta live it up somehow.
Exactly.
Might have taught you some adaptation, I guess, when it comes
Yeah.
to practice.
Yeah.
It makes you appreciate the team drills a little more.
That's true. But even
Exactly.
like when we were in the pods, we would try to like introduce each other, get to know each other. But it's like we'd be yelling across the gym. We had our masks on.
And your masks are
Yeah,
on, so it
it was
just sounds like
horrible.
muffled.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what
what'd
you're
you say?
saying.
Yeah.
Icebreakers from
you.
afar.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Icebreakers across the gym.
And that lasted a while too, the pods.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, and we couldn't switch either because that would cause like COVID
Yeah.
stuff,
The
you
contact tracing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we couldn't switch pods. It was crazy.
Did you have like one coach per pod, or like how did that work?
They just like kind of stood in the
They
middle,
hovered.
tried to help everyone. Yeah.
Interesting.
They're also screaming.
Yeah, exactly. They had to have their mask on. They were screaming.
Was there like outside of the coaches, were there people that would come in and like monitor the practices that like made sure you guys were staying socially distanced or not?
Yeah,
really?
the FitRec staff
Okay.
walks in like every 20 minutes, even still today, to
Really?
make sure we have our mask on. Yeah.
Interesting.
And the trainer, everyone. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you plan on playing basketball after Marine, or you haven't decided? Or?
As of right now, yes, I'd love to.
Mhm.
I value my academics a lot, so I'd like to go to school with good academics. But if they offer a scholarship, I would totally take it.
Mhm.
Do you have like a specific major that would factor into the school, or?
Well, that's kind of a problem right now too. I'm
Okay.
thinking more like exercise science, physical therapy,
Mhm.
Okay.
but then there's like occupational therapy. So
Right.
one of those. But yeah, I'm open
Gotcha.
to a lot of ideas and stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha. I saw that you were number 23. Is there any inspiration behind that, would you say?
Well, growing up, I've always been number 23. I played soccer and volleyball, so I've always been number 23, but my brother was number 23. So I
Okay.
just kind of stole it from him.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious about that. How was it playing at Sandburg? Would you say like the competition there kind of prepared you for college?
I'd say iffy. I mean, there were always better teams in the conference.
Mhm.
So, like, yeah, playing those teams would make us better, made me better as a player. But then there were always those, like, bottom of the barrel teams that didn't
Mhm.
really help. But then at the same time, it would help with your mentality of you have to go in knowing, like, not knowing you're going to win. You still have to try, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I could see how that would be frustrating
Right,
for sure.
yeah.
Did you play
definitely.
basketball growing up, or did you start in high school?
I started in 3rd grade. I played
Oh, wow.
for a church league, actually. It's
Interesting.
called Our Lady of the Woods.
Okay.
And it was actually really competitive, so that helped a lot
Mhm.
developing me as a player.
Mm.
But yeah, that started in 3rd grade, and I've played ever since.
Gotcha.
Were you always the guard, or did you fluctuate positions?
So I've always been a post. I was always a power forward, and
Okay.
I did not become a shooting guard until senior year of high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How was that adjustment? Was it?
It was kind of hard, to be honest. I've always been more of a defensive player,
Mm.
so being a shooting guard obviously requires an offensive
Mhm.
role. So that's
Yeah.
been a little bit of a struggle,
Like
but I've been working on it.
Playing on the wing a little more?
Right, yeah.
Was that a
Yeah.
transition made because like the coaches wanted that to happen, or?
I think it was more like I kind of decided it. I was like, I'm kind of sick of the mid range. Like,
Mhm.
let me shoot a 3, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But I've always been one of the tallest too, so that's kind of a struggle because I'm like taller
Yeah.
Right.
as a shooting guard, but it is what it is.
So you're at the 2 in college then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2,
Gotcha.
3, yeah.
Gotcha. Would you say you enjoyed playing at high school or college more?
Well, since I didn't really get a season last year, I couldn't really tell you what
Right.
college is going to be like. But
Mhm.
so far, I like my teammates in high school were awesome too. The
Mhm.
coaches were cool. Like, it was just a nice environment, big school and everything. Here, I feel like I'm a little more on my own, but I'm much closer with the coaching staff here, so I feel like that helps a lot too.
That's good. Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
that's always important to have a strong relationship with the coaches.
Right. Yeah, I value that
Mhm.
a lot.
Anything else you want to ask? Or
Mhm.
any last thoughts you want to say?
Nah, just come to some basketball games. Watch us win. We do get fans this year. It will. I think it still gets broadcasted though, but
Okay.
definitely come.
Gotcha. And then, do you know what day your guys' first game is? Or
Our first official game is November 5th.
okay.
I'm not sure if it's home or away though. That's yeah.
Okay.
You'll have
and
to
then you
look
were
that up.
and then you were saying there's a tournament before.
Yeah, we have some jamborees in October,
Okay.
like 1-day tournament shootouts. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So you guys better look out for that. Thank you, Maggie, for coming on. We appreciate having you on
Thank
here.
you for having me.
No problem. You could find these episodes on the library's website, and also they will be posted on the Glacier. Thank you guys for listening, and we hope to see you next week.
Peace.